Hey entrepreneurs, it's AJ. So thank you all so much for your beautiful questions and comments through private messages. I get that a lot of people have a reputation to keep up and aren't willing to comment publicly. Thank you so much for taking the time and energy to message me privately and let me know what's going on in your world. So today I want to chat to you about how do you take an idea and communicate it in such a way to get people to buy into it. And I'm going to share with you a story from my adventures in business, one that I can share on LinkedIn. And it's about how I created my technology training center from nothing, from literally just an idea into reality. And it's a great story, and I hope you find some value, and I hope it inspires you to do something similar during this crazy time that we're in right now. Back in 2007, Yes, 2007. I attended the Small Business Development Conference in Perth, and it was such an amazing experience because I was just a young fella. I had a lot of energy, I had a lot of naivety, and I had a lot of energy, did I say? So, I'd go there and just blew everyone away and made sure everyone had a great time, and it was brilliant. It was one of the most amazing conferences. And while I was at this conference, I met a gentleman named Grant, and Grant was a marketing director from HP, but I didn't know this at the time. I just saw a cool guy, partied with him. We had several amounts of red cordial, and we had a great time. And we sent each other an email when we got back. Said, mate, great meeting you. Love to work with you someday. Yep, love to work with you too. And that was the end of that. All right. A month later, Grant gives me a phone call, and this was back in the day when I actually used to take phone calls. And so he's on the phone. He goes, mate, I've got a problem. I was hoping you can help me out. And I said, brother, I'm the problem solver. Lay it on me, man. I got you back. I said, mate, I got a bucket of money I need to get rid of. I was hoping you can help me out. Ooh, that's an interesting challenge. Sure. Does the bucket of money need to be involved with anything specific? Yeah, mate. So we've got these grants here at HP, and it's for a project that's designed to do something interesting with the community. It's a technology grant, so we give you a bit of cash, bit of training, and 20 PCs to set yourself up. And nothing like this in Australia has ever been done before. So I want to get something on the board here in Australia. Do you have any ideas? I said, mate, I've got an idea for you, but I have to run out to a meeting, so I'll call you back. Cool, no worries. And I put the phone down, and I thought, geez, I need an idea now. What can I come up with on such short notice? So one of the things that I really was passionate about in those days was, how can I get small business owners thinking differently about their business? How can I teach them how to use technology to grow their business and do amazing things? So I came up with the idea of creating a technology training center specifically for small business owners on how to learn how to use technology to grow their business. So there were other programs out there where you could take a class in Excel or take a class in touch typing. This was not that. This was specifically engineered and where the business owners would come in, they'd think differently about their business and really learn new things and have technology to support them in their growth to implement these new ideas. So I hit up Grant with that message, and he loved it. And he said, great, what do you need from me? I said, nothing, let me put this deal together. So then I had a look at the deal. And this is what I want you guys to think about. These are certain barriers or conditions of contract, and think about, how did I overcome these barriers? So first barrier was the grant needed to go to a not-for-profit company. The barrier is, I'm a for-profit entity. As a company, I make a profit, right? So I can't tender for this grant. They're not going to give it to me. So I need to partner with another institution or an organization to deliver this amazing idea of mine. So luckily I used to sit on the board for another organization called the Business Enterprise Center of the Northern Territory. So I was a board director for them. So I called up my BEC manager, the branch manager, and he came into the office. Now, he's several years older than me, several shades lighter than me, and he's a lovely guy. So he comes in, and I said, I got this idea, and I pitched it to him, and I said, mate, listen, I want to create Darwin's Technology Training Center, the first of its kind in Australia, to train small business owners on how to use technology to grow their business. Nothing like this has ever been done before, but I want to go where no one else has gone. What do I need to do to make this a reality? And the first things out of his mouth were, this will never work, young fella. And I said, mate, you must be losing your hearing. I didn't ask you if this was going to work or not. I asked you, how can I make this work? And he looked at me and he said, oh, mate, I don't know. And I said, before you say anything else, take a look at this. And I slid him this these few pieces of paper, like a little brochure. And it was a brochure that I created introducing the Darwin Technology Training Center and I went online and I stole all these photos of this building, this training center that was already in Darwin. And I took all these photos, I photoshopped it, and him looking at it, first things out of his mouth were, "Does this actually exist?" And I said, "It could, thanks to your help and generosity." And, but so the first thing you need to do is get people to really see it, visualize it. And if you put together a brochure or a clip these days, a video clip, they can see it and they can visualize it, and they can, if they see it, they can believe it. It's real, it's tangible, it's not just in your head as a concept, right? So I did that and got him on board, and he said, "Yep, all right, we support you." Then another barrier was that the deal with HP was going to give me 20 computers, it was going to give me a bunch of cash, and it was going to give me an all expenses paid trip overseas to Thailand to get trained in this world-class curriculum that teaches small business owners how to use the business to grow, use technology to grow their business. So the thing that they didn't have was it didn't have software on the machines, right? So I needed to go buy software. And in general, the money from HP was used for that, but I wanted to use that money for something else. So I needed software. So I needed to think of who in my network could help me overcome this barrier. And I used to sit on a board with another gentleman, and he used to belong to an organization, a small software company called Microsoft. So I sat down with him and I explained the situation. I said, "Hey, I'm getting computers, cash, and training, but I don't have software. And I was hoping that you guys could sponsor the software, give me some licenses." And to my shock, he said, "Yeah, of course we could do that, because we've been trying to do a deal with HP and they're just not really talking to us. I'm having trouble closing that deal. And if we support you in this deal, maybe they might think that we're the good guys, so they'll want to do a deal with us. So yep, whatever you need, AJ, done." Great. So I got the BC, I got Microsoft, and in these sort of initiatives, it's always good when you have government on board. So I managed to talk my way into a meeting with the Minister for, I think it was the Minister for Technology at the time, and Small Business. It was a combined portfolio. So I'm sitting in the Minister's office chatting to him, and the first thing he asks me out of his mouth, he goes, "Mate, what do you need from me?" And I said, No, Minister, I actually want to do something for you." And he almost fell off his chair, because everyone runs up to ministers and they just take, whereas I was the first constituent to actually want to give him something. So I explained the situation, told him how I'm building this training center, and these are the goals that it's going to achieve, and the goals that it's going to achieve directly correlate to portfolio milestones in his initiatives in technology and business. So by supporting this initiative, he can automatically tick some boxes to show Cabinet that he's doing a great job. So he just couldn't believe this. It was like all his Christmases had come at once, right? So he agreed to give me a letter of support. So now I got the BEC, I got Microsoft, and I got government on board. I went back to grant, put in the submission, and we ended up winning the grant, and it was amazing. And I'm running out of time on this video, so I'll share the full story another time. But I just hope you get an idea of what it takes to get an idea out there and make it reality. Like, you have to communicate your ideas in such a way through other people's lenses, not your own. Like, I was so passionate, but do you think that if I went around saying, "Hey, I want to do this, I'm so passionate, I'm so wonderful in this," that people would support me? Maybe, but the likelihood of them doing that is very little, unless stars aligned. So in every single stage of the process, I made sure that it was real, it was tangible, people could see it. And also when I communicated the idea, I put it to them, I made it make sense to them in their world. So if you can communicate an idea through another person's lenses and make them believe that this is something good for them, they will support you. And together we built this training center. We trained 160 business owners in how to use technology. And then, that's a story for another time. All right, entrepreneurs, I hope this inspires you to do amazing things during this time of crisis. Go back, be creative. Think about how you can create solutions to the problems that we're facing today. I'm AJ Kulatunga. Thanks for watching this video. And whatever happens in business and in life, I wish you nothing but success. Take care.